My name is Kelvin Gilfellen, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Castle Control Board. It is a statutory body that governs and manages the castle as a heritage site and as a tourism site in terms of SAHRA legislation, of course. The site was declared in October 2016, which was, of course, long overdue because under apartheid and colonial rule, this was a national monument. So we would have thought in the new democracy that came into being in 1994, they would prioritize this site. But I can understand it because this is a difficult site of memory. It's a site that's been associated with armed colonial conquest, with apartheid, with the SADF, the South African Defence Force, the old security forces. You know, the critics of the new democracy always struggle with how is the new rulers, the former freedom fighters, going to deal with apartheid and colonial symbols. That's why we had this roads must fall, you know, even some rumors of castle must fall. But I think the fact that the South African Heritage Resources Agency could put that stamp on it is confirmation that we are responsibly dealing with our difficult heritage, whether it's good, bad, ugly, bitter, sour. Our democracy is built on the womb of a very difficult heritage and history. And it's initiatives like these that's bringing 3 or 4 generations together to reflect on that past and take out of it the learnings, and we don't make and repeat the same mistakes. During the late 16th, I would say early 17th century, there was this scramble on the seas. The Portuguese, the Spanish, the Brits, the French, all of them sending out their boats onto the sea to connect the new world with the old world, but most importantly to feed the economies and the hunger of Europe, because Europe was in turmoil. Europe was fighting against each other, they were running out of space, they were running out of options. And so they were looking to Africa, to South America, to the Americas, and to the East and the Far East for new economic opportunities. And that hence the whole notion of mercantile capitalism, of trade, of you know, engaging other peoples for their gold, for their silver, for their spices, for their you know, all of those kind of things. So what they've done, when they sailed around the west coast of Africa, they built these forts or fortifications. And in 1652, it was our turn. In the Cape, they built a fortification. You know, before that, they were trying to build smaller fortifications, but it's only when Jan van Riebeeck with his 3 ships arrived at the Cape, where they formally, I would say, almost put out the anchor here, engaged the local Khoi people, and decided unilaterally to build a halfway station here. And then they built it in phases, and eventually, 13, 14 years after that, what you see today is there. And they've built on new pieces, because it was dependent on whether there was war, peacetime. It was dependent on whether there was money to build. So, but eventually they could build this 5-star castle or fort, which is different because the Van Riebeeck fort only had 4 sides, and thankfully it's still standing today. My role is the little bit of history they give you is to bring all of those different viewpoints on history together, because we can't change history as a series of events that happen, but we can change history how we interpret the series of events. Part of our motivation for the listing of the castle as not only a National Heritage Site, Grade A, but also as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is to say, how do we turn it around? And as late or as early as 2013, we developed a slogan, almost like the SAA one, taking the castle to the people through curricular work, through media, etc., but also to bring the people to the castle. Because nowadays, almost everybody with access to a cell phone, to a smartphone, or any phone, can access this information. In other words, the message of the castle can reach almost theoretically everyone. But not everyone that you call the community can necessarily come here. There could be the impediment of distance, of language, of perception, of economy, of material, money, etc. So what we've done immediately in 2013, on 24th of September of 2013, we launched this Open Up the Castle campaign. So from that point of view, the invitation was open to the entire South Africa, if not the entire subcontinent, because Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, all of them are could be tied to the castle. We launched it there to say that from now on, all the public holidays or the holidays of importance where we commemorate our democracy or advent to democracy, we will have special programs. And when we have those special programs, the community will be invited in for free, so that they do become the true ambassadors of the castle. If you're a true leader, you should not be prison of those policies and acts, because the Constitution rules. I mean, it's the most important law of the country. So if you talk about access, if you talk about management, if you talk about that, there are superior principles that guides you. So if we look at the preamble in the Constitution that we should honor the people who sacrifice their lives, whatever, that's the guiding principle. So we say never again. We don't want the hardships, the torture, the maiming, the killing that happened between the five walls of the castle to repeat itself. And that's the basis of our curatorial philosophy, how we manage this place from day to day. If the community at large wants to reconnect with themselves and the fact that they all are from a common humanity that was born, in fact, in the southernmost part of Africa, then I think they should come and look for those answers between the five walls of the castle. For people from the African continent, from all over the world, converged and developed a new story, a new history. That's not only important for the Cape or South Africa or Southern Africa, but the entire world. The fact that there is a world civilization is because of them. It's because of Africa, because we are here, because we were the starting point of all. And that is the kind of symbolism that lies in the castle, that despite it being a European colonial artifact, in a strange twist of history, this is a symbol of the entire African and history of humanity. And that's why I think they must come here to reconnect with themselves, with their souls, and reconnect with other people. Then these debates about, identity, colored, ethnicity, those narrow human constructs will just fade away if they step up to that higher purpose.